Hey everyone, Andrew DeVisser here from Propane Forges Tool, and today we're going to be talking about diagnosing a forge that is running very poorly. So we have one of my early Propane Forges Tool FFT 100 prototypes here, and we're going to be running this a little bit later to show some of these different scenarios. So forges are very simple. I'm sure you probably heard your dad or your grandfather talking about a combustion engine, if you've ever tinkered around with small engines, saying, it needs spark and fuel, it needs air, and it needs, what's the last one, compression. And these are even more simple because really the spark is taken care of, it's a continuous flame. So they really need air and fuel. And those are, for the most part, the only two things that can really go wrong if they're running poorly. So you can simplify it even further because most of the time, these forges, most naturally aspirated forges, do not have the capability to pull in too much air. So generally speaking, you're dealing with too much fuel. Now there's a quick way to diagnose that. If the flame is green, especially if it's very obviously green, that means you are getting too much fuel or not enough air. That can be caused by a couple of different things. It can be caused by a blockage in the burner. That's usually the number one thing. It can be caused by poorly aligned orifices. So if you have something like an NC forge or something like that, where there's that rail system, things get knocked out of alignment. If that orifice is not directly over the burner tube, it's not going to be able to draw enough air in with the gas as it goes in. So you'll be having 100% of the gas, but not 100% of the air necessary to combust it. So I'm just going to show what that looks like for a second here. I have this adjusted way, way down. So we're going to be getting a reducing flame. And as you look inside, hopefully it shows up on the camera, but just on this left burner here, you should be able to see a greenish flame. And turn on our propane here, always helps. Okay, so let's take a look here. All right, so you can see we have a lot of secondary flame on this side, right? And you can see up there, this flame is a good, healthy flame. Nice light blue color, that's what we're looking for. That is a neutral flame. This side is not a neutral flame. You can see it's a very green tint to that flame there. So if we open this up a little bit, you can see straight away there, that is a neutral flame, which is a light blue color. And if you want to, in this forge, you can even make it an oxidizing flame if you want to. So if you have a forge that is just really not running right, it's going to be either the fuel or the air. So check them out one at a time. If the orifices are easy to get to, which they really happen to be in this forge, you just pull these out, double check everything. With everything turned off, you can make sure that there's fuel coming through properly. And if that is all good, then check for any blockage in the tube burners. Check for breakdown around where the burner comes out. Now the FFT 100 is really nice because it has its own burn chamber contained within the burner itself. So these burners will burn in the open air, no problem. They have a perfectly stable, nice, tight flame all the time. It doesn't really matter. But a lot of burners do not, and a lot of forges rely on the expansion of the actual burning chamber inside. So as these liners start to break down, especially around the outside edge here, if there's not a nice clean hole where that flame comes out, that flame is going to get a lot more ragged and the combustion is going to get more and more poor as that starts to deteriorate. So a lot of times when people replace the burners on their forges, the forge gets a lot hotter, but a big part of that is actually just the quality of the flame that's coming out, not just the insulation that's in the forge. Anyway, hope that helps. If you see a green flame, green means gas. Check that out first. You have too much fuel, not enough air. Take care, guys. If you like, you can check out the website, FletcherForgeandTool.com. We do sell the new and improved version of this forge, which is the FFT 100. And we also sell hoof knives, left and right-handed, in both large and smaller variants, as well as the FFT Sharpening Kit. So check that out, FletcherForgeandTool.com.